Okay, today we're with Jean-Luc Montagnier, and we are at the Bonanza Peak Trailhead outside of Cold Creek. This is actually a shorter route to Bonanza Peak. On Las Vegas area trails, we also have the long route from Lee Canyon up the Bonanza Trail. But this is the shorter route, and Jean-Luc's taken it before. I have not. So Jean-Luc's going to explain what we're going to do today.
So we will use the trailhead at 50 yards away on my right. And then it's a nice hike to do in the summer because we are in the north side of the north face of the Bonanza Peak and pretty high in altitude and elevation. So it means that we will be on the cover of the forest all along until reaching the ridge over there. Then we will follow the ridge to the Bonanza Peak that we can't really see from here because it's a little bit on the back of it. And there is also an interesting arch to do on the rocky ridge over there. We did already some pictures. So once the goal today is to reach the saddle on the ridge, and with one of the most beautiful prairie circled by the forest, surrounded by the forest over there. It's an amazing view on the whole Las Vegas valley, but also in Pahrump, and on the back the great Death Valley view with the telescope peak. So today the sky is clear. It will be great to be there on the saddle, because once you leave the saddle, we will be under the cover of the forest until the summit, and we won't have the overlook to both sides of the mountains from over there. So impatient to be on the saddle, and we will have some good overlook on the rocky outcrop over there down the slope. We could see that there is some snow plates in the forest, so it will be easy to go through it, but it's always dangerous because in springtime it could be icy at night, and then it melts a little bit during the day. So if you come during the winter or when there's snow in such plates in the forest, it could be dangerous to cross it, because if you slip on it, you will gain a lot of speed down below and hit a tree for sure. So it could be dangerous to cross some plates, the slope or something like that, and you have to cross it through. So we'll see what it could be. And otherwise, it's a very well drawn trail till the summit. It will be a nice day in the freshness. We are on the beginning of June, the 2nd of June 2024 today, but in Vegas we reach and exceed 90, 95, something like that. So here it will be a fresh day. Happy to be here.
Awesome. Thank you. Let's get going.
Yeah.
Okay, here we are on the trail that we found at the trailhead below. And as you can see, awesome looking trail. So, as I said, this is the shortest route to Bonanza Peak. But I gotta caution you, after Cold Creek, the road is unpaved. And it's really four-wheel drive only, unless you've got a high-centered pickup like Jean-Luc has, and he was able to handle it on that pickup. But definitely don't take your lowrider car on that road. I guess you could hike up from Cold Creek, but you're going to add 2 to 3 extra miles. Okay, and now as you can see, we are entering the Mount Charleston Wilderness on this same trail, Bonanza Trail. Okay, here we are continuing up the trail. And what we have here is an expansive view below. Here's the trail once again, heading downhill. And that view opens up very quickly. It's only been maybe 10-15 minutes, but you see the sheep range, and I'm going to show you Hayford Peak and Sheep Peak. And Hayford Peak is on the left, Sheep Peak is on the right. And those are 2 peaks in the Sheep Range. This reminds me of the other side of Bonanza Peak when I came from Lee Canyon. Just the terrain. It's like we're nearing the summit area. I know we probably have about 1,500 feet to go.
This mountain seems nothing, but it's a never-ending story, you know?
Okay, we're continuing up this trail. Lots of switchbacks. You gain altitude very quickly. Give you an idea of this. Now we can see the town of Cold Creek, and we can look across to the Sheep Range. You can see the I-95 corridor. So I'm going to zoom in on those 3, Cold Creek, I-95 corridor, and Sheep Range, in that order. Okay, let's get a better look at the Sheep Range. Yeah, there you have it. And believe it or not, here's the trailhead area below us. And this is how much altitude we've gained. In this short space of time. And then over here is, I believe it's either Max Peak or McFarland Peak. And it's just not easy to tell from this perspective. And then here we are continuing upward on the trail. More switchbacks. Onward and upward. Okay, just to show the nature of the switchbacks. This is a very typical turn in the switchbacks. We've been up a number of these. I don't know how many there are. Sometimes I count, not this time, but I imagine there's at least 10 to 15 before we get to the top. Let me take a quick picture and video of this ridge line. And to give you an idea of the rapid incline, as long as we're at this switchback area, you look almost straight down to the trailhead. And an ever expansive view. It is just so beautiful up here, and you get here so quickly as long as you have a four-wheel drive to get to the trailhead. Okay, here's an awesome viewpoint on the trail, and we're looking down the valley below, town of Cold Creek. Ridge over here, and then here's the European section. You guys want to introduce yourselves and your dog?
The Germany team.
Okay, Marcus, right?
Marcus, yeah.
And who's this?
This is Max.
Nick?
Max.
Mac. Okay, good. So he's the one that owns Max Peak.
Yep, I'm Helen.
Helen? And here's Jean-Luc.
Yeah, myself.
So, great spot on the trail. You meet amazing people up on these trails. And here's an example. Okay, continuing up the Bonanza Trail. And now you can see we're approaching the upper ridge line and a saddle. And what you see here through the tree, and yeah, it's not the best view, but it's a rocky section, rocky outcrop, and then we descend to the saddle, and then finally we ascend to Bonanza Peak. And then just to give you a view of where we are, beautiful limestone, pine trees, fir trees around us.
Bristlecone trees.
Yeah, bristlecone. So we are above 9,000 or in that area.
Yep.
Yeah, here's a bristlecone.
And the contrast between the mountain and the desert we are facing is amazing.
Oh yeah. So here we are in the forest, and you look down into the desert below. Wow. And you can see salt pans down there. That's why they call the Spring Mountains a desert island. Totally surrounded by desert with its own unique plants and animals that have evolved in a way that you won't see anything worldwide that's exactly the same as what you'll see up here. There's some limestone. By the way, the limestone is dolomite, and it's from an ocean bottom at one time, an ancient ocean.
Yeah, this is a sedimentary rock, and the dolomite, to be called like that, is have to have more than 40% of magnesium on it.
Mm.
So dolomite come from the Italian mountains in the northeast Italy, north of Venice, and this is basically the same rock.
Yeah, Jean-Luc was saying a little bit ago that I asked him, if you suck one of these stones, if you'll get magnesium out of it. He said maybe some, but wow.
Beware of your teeth.
Yeah, don't take a bite.
Don't swallow it.
Very good. Okay, onward. Okay, good news. Here we are approaching the saddle, and the summit that you see ahead, that rounded forested hill, a little bit on the left, is 10,300 feet. We are about 9,800 right now. So yeah, we're looking at about 500 feet before we hit that saddle. But I mean, before we hit the summit. But you can see now how the trail is winding around. And on the right side of the summit is the south side. We've been on the left side, which is the north side. A lot more snow. But now, potentially, we're going to be a little bit away from the snow and on the warmer side. But no guarantees.
Finally, 3 zillion zigzag. Plenty of red currant. It's not yet the good season, but there's usually plenty of flowers here. And soon the view over the Pahrump Valley and Death Valley. I expect to see Telescope Peak too. Trout Canyon Road down below. So Pahrump is just down the dry lake, and on the very background Telescope Peak and Death Valley. Bonanza Peak is probably 300 to 400 feet under this saddle, over this saddle, excuse me.
And here on the saddle, Jean-Luc is going to explain what we are looking at.
So, first of all, over there lies the Bonanza Peak, but it's impossible to see it from here. So the trail goes up slightly, and probably an half a mile away from here we will have to turn left to reach the summit. but if you continue straight, you will stay on the trail that goes to Lee's Canyon.
All right. And there is an adventure on Las Vegas area trails where we took the trail from Lee Canyon. It's a lot longer. It's like 28 miles by the time you get there and back. But yeah, we will reach the intersection with that trail soon.
But to really enjoy this place, I prefer to do it backpacking, you know. That's why today we are on the shorter way to do the Bonanza Peak. That it's a 3 zillion zigzag to go up, but it deserves the trip because most of the time you're under the cover of the forest, so it's a good summer hike. And it's it's enough rare to mark it. So down below, this is the Pahrump Valley. Pahrump lies on the bottom of the valley.
City of Pahrump.
Pahrump, yes, Nevada. This is the Nye County. We exit. It's another thing to note that we are on this side of the mountain on Clark County. We are here on Nye County.
Okay, south side is Nye County.
Yeah.
North side is Clark County.
Yeah. And you could see on the very background the Death Valley Mountains. And the telescope peak here.
That high point.
So
very faint.
Yeah. So if one day you do this peak and by a clear day, you will see the Mount Whitney in California, which is the highest mountain in the 48 mainland states.
Okay.
And when you're in this peak, when you are looking at the Mount Whitney this way, exactly on your back, if you make a U-turn, you will have the direction of the south rim of the Grand Canyon.
Oh my gosh, okay.
So we can't really see here, but yeah, it's interesting to note it.
And we got Bristlecone Pines, and I don't know if this is a ponderosa.
I don't think so. It's a mountain pine or something, a black
Pinion?
Pine.
Or black pine?
No, it's not pinion, it's black pine, or I don't remember.
Black pine.
This one on the left is for sure a bristlecone. And try to go close to the branches, because you could see, I will try to see that, and you will come with me to verify it. But usually, no, they don't do it yet, but usually it starts to have some drops of sap on the branches that makes just like diamonds during the sunlight time. So it's pretty beautiful to have these bristlecone diamonds on the branch to see. It's very nice. So if you follow this ridge, I did it probably to the next third of a mile. It's a rocky ridge, but if you continue, you will be able, I never did it, to reach one of the beautiful arch.
Oh,
A massive arch that we saw from the parking, and we did a picture of it, you know. So,
yes.
But I did it probably a third of a mile this way, and I was too tired to continue. I came back. So yeah, but once we will reach the outcrop, the rocky outcrop, the trail basically will turn flat, and then you turn left at the connection with the summit and the Lee Canyon trail.
Okay, and there's where we're going to have maybe a few brief snow crossings, as according to the climbers that were.
I don't know, because the trail stays on the southern side of the mountain.
Oh, okay.
But if you continue on the Lys Canyon, it makes a huge curve underneath the north side of the mountain that continue. We can see here, and I am pretty sure that over there it will be covered with ice.
Okay.
And just a thing, you have to remove the fly that will sting you on your wrist here.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. So,
I didn't move the video fast enough to see the fly. I was more concerned about removing the fly. Okay.
so
Yeah, but that was a big fly. And I was looking for the blood vessels on my wrist. Okay.
So it's interesting to. So this road is supposed that we see here. It's supposed to link Pahrump with Cold Creek through a path that are just on the back at the end of the very rocky outcrop of this mountain. Then it makes a saddle, and it's supposed. I tried to do it, but my car at that time wasn't enough powerful to climb the slopes over there. So it's supposed to be the path. And by the way, it was the road that links the community of Cold Creek, where they did a lot of timber, and they transported it to Pahrump.
Okay. Okay, well, let's get onward to the summit.
Yep.
Okay, here we are. The last 300 feet to the summit. And, oh yeah, it's looking so very beautiful. We're in a total bristlecone pine forest now. Bristlecone pines, the only trees that survive and populate this altitude. And it's like we're in an alpine terrain. Could be alpine anywhere in the world. Okay, here we are about 200 vertical feet below the summit. The summit is up in this direction, and you can see a couple different trails. You can see this trail circles around and actually heads down in that direction. That's the trail that you catch when you're heading back to Lee Canyon. On the other hand, right here at this cairn is where you catch the trail, and you see that ahead here, where you're heading up a ridge line that is going to reach the summit in 200 vertical feet, maybe 1,000, 1,500 horizontal feet. So we are very close to the summit now. Still a beautiful day in this bristlecone pine forest. Very warm. Could not be better. Do you have anything you want to say about this?
Oh, I love this place. Look at these bristlecone. It's amazing. And the thing is that the trail that goes down will reach will go underneath some cliff, underneath here in this direction here down below. Then it will reach a ridge with a clear view over Pahrump and the mountains there. But from this point you have to go down the canyon.
Yeah, pretty radical descent.
And then goes up
toward McFarland Peak.
Yeah, to be just on the southern side of McFarlane. And this climb kills your legs.
It's a long one.
This long and beautiful ridge.
Yes.
that goes on the left or on the right of the ridge, basically to Lee Canyon. The trailhead over there is the parking, the final parking of the ski resort.
Yes, you hit the,
Yeah.
you connect with the Bristlecone Pine Trail,
Yeah, this is the
and
the
then
end of
the
this
ski
trail.
resort.
Yeah,
But above on the Bonanza Trail, it's just a pristine wilderness area. It's like very few people, compared to like the Mount Charleston Loop, very few people are on that trail. So you just have the feeling everything is so fresh, and the greens are so green, the blues of the sky are so blue. It is just beautiful, one of the most beautiful places on earth.
yeah, it's really gorgeous, especially when you think about the winter condition here with snow, freezing temps, and the strong winds. And these trees here have to resist to such condition, and they are specially adapted to this condition. On the dead trunk on the ground, you could see how the fibers are twisted together to increase the resistance of the trunk to the strong wind, the strength of the weight of the snow that try to go down, that push on the trunk. There's a lot of things that occur in such places in winter. And I invite you one day to go to the White Mountains, eastbound of Lone Pine, California, to visit the oldest living creature on Earth, the bristlecone. I mean, there's other creature, some mushrooms and mold. They discovered recently that they could live over 20,000 years. But over there, the Methuselah is supposed to be 5,000 years. And there's probably some around 7,000.
That's just
like
amazing.
that. And so it shows. They are also a witness, because they live much longer than any other species. They are also the witness of the ages, because they record in their trunk the good and the bad years. So when you have a good condition year with a lot of water, not too hot, not too much snow, the thickness of the ring on the trunk have a tendency to be larger than a bad year. So because they live long, with a drill, you do a hole through the trunk of the big
The adult tree.
bristlecone,
Yeah.
the whole one, and you could have a pretty good idea year after year in the back to 5,000 years.
Yeah.
How was every winter, every summer, every, so they are the witness of the ages. That's a interesting thing to know.
Yeah, what was the summer like when Moses was crossing the Red Sea?
Yeah, but this is the young guys.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They were young.
That's right. Yeah. Okay, let's head up to that summit.
Yeah.
The high point was right up here.
Yeah, on the rock.
Yeah,
And that's it.
yeah, we will definitely know once we get up on this rock, because we won't see anything higher. Nope. If this is not the summit, then we don't know what is.
So usually we do the sign of victory on the top.
The what?
We do the sign of victory.
Okay.
Something like yoo-hoo! Something like that, yes. So clear view on the western side of Mount Charleston.
Charleston Peak. Definitely. Okay.
It's just under
Yeah, put your
13,000
turn your mic on and let's
feet elevation. Pahrump. And there's valley over there.
we need to on the summit of Bonanza Peak. This rock that you see that I'm standing on. And now, as I mentioned, better view of Charleston Peak. There we are. How beautiful. Yeah, and let's see what else. Now, down in this direction, wouldn't that be Pahrump area?
Is this Pahrump?
It is Pahrump.
Yeah, there's a lot of smog or dust.
Haze.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then what that means is that beyond Pahrump, totally blocked out in the haze, would be Telescope Peak on the opposite side of Death Valley.
Now it's just on the right. It's just on the right, on the back of the
right.
trees. Yeah.
Okay, I need to move over.
No, but
here.
you can clearly see.
Okay.
Does
There
it
we
matter if I film you during your filming?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, over there somewhere is Telescope Peak. But wow, the haze is pretty thick. And then this road that we see below, is that the road we came up?
No.
What is that road?
This road goes to the pass from Pahrump to Cold Creek. I don't remember the name of the pass. You will put a note on the video, I think.
Okay. So that's the road from Pahrump directly to Cold Creek.
Yeah. And there's for the one that did the Mount Charleston.
Yes.
Coming from Griffith's Peak.
Yes.
On the back of the right ridge that seems much flatter than the last ridge to the summit, there is the remnant. I think it was a CIA fly.
Yes.
From Vegas to Area 51 that crashes during, I don't know, 60s or 70s, something like that.
Yeah, the crash site.
Yeah, so there is some debris of their plane. Unfortunately, several people lost their lives over there. Oh, it was a lot, yeah. And because just on our back, there is Area 51. And I am looking right now at the area, inside the Area 51, where they did all of these atomic tests.
Okay, so here's the top secret view of Area 51.
Yeah, but tell it to nobody, okay?
Okay, we won't let anyone know.
Because it's secret. Okay.
Got it.
So somewhere around here, where during the 50s, the atomic test. I don't know, more, if I remember correctly, more than 200 tests. And then they they buried the atomic bomb to do underground explosion. So here is the separation between the military base and the Desert National Wildlife Range, with on the very back the Mount Hayford, the Hayford Peak, sorry, and this is Eden Valley, Eden Forest is the Eden Cabin. The interesting thing on the Eden Forest is that during the Prohibition in the late 30s, some guys built a cabin and a distillery, a clandestine distillery, to do some moonshine over there. So, but one day the alembic explode, and there is the remnants of the destroyed thing. It was huge work to carry all of this thing over there, to assemble it and to work on it. So it's a very remote control, a remote place. It's very isolated from all of the rest of the valleys surrounding this place.
And all of this is in the sheep range, which is directly through these trees.
Yes.
The hidden peak, I mean the Hayford Peak,
Peak, yeah.
And the hidden forest, and that still that Jean-Luc is talking about.
Yeah, interesting place, because you start your hike in the desert, and then you go all along a canyon, pretty interesting rock formation there, and then you enter a forest like this one we are actually, and then you reach the ridges and follow the ridges with the same kind of landscape that we have here, surrounded by the desert.
And we're looking at McFarlane Peak right down this direction, right?
No, McFarlane is right here.
Ah,
and you
okay.
could see the crack.
So this must be Max Peak.
Probably, yeah. I don't.
Max Peak, and then McFarlane Peak.
Yeah, you could recognize it because of the crack. You know, remember the rock slide.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then Mummy Mountain is
on the back of it, on the left.
The left.
Yeah.
And then also here's a shot of Angel Peak.
Angel Peak with the telescope on it, which I think is not a real good place to put an observation telescope, because there is at night a lot of light pollution coming from the Las Vegas city. You have to be there at night to see the light pollution. If you are looking this way, there is a huge halo of light over the mountain.
Yes.
If you look on the other side, the sky is dark and you could see plenty of stars.
And here's something. For the longest time, I thought that this was an observatory, but actually I learned much later that it was an Air Force installation, and that's actually a radar, so it's not an observatory.
Okay.
And my earlier videos, I point out Angel Peak and say, there's the observatory, there's the observatory. Then I learned, no, it's an Air Force radar.
So in this case, the light doesn't matter.
Yes. One cool
I really believe it was an observatory.
Yeah, it's your first thought. It looks like it. But another thing about Angel Peak, I was once lost at night. Well, not really lost, but I was at night around Burnt Peak in the La Madre Mountains, and I was coming down in the moonlight. I looked up at Angel Peak, and there was a beautiful torch. And so in the middle of the night, they light up a torch on Angel Peak, and you can see it for miles around.
Oh, really?
It's just amazing.
Yeah, you could think that the show is on the Las Vegas Strip Boulevard, but there's a beautiful show place here all around these mountains.
Absolutely. And there are stories here. You've heard Jean-Luc talk about the trees and the rocks, and between videos he tells me a lot more, but you can hike in this area and